Okay, y'all, so this is one of the messiest stories I will ever tell, okay? This is a story on how I found out I was pregnant. And I also have my notebook with my notes because I needed to remember the dates, the times. It's just too much. It's too much. So I am going to break this video down into two parts, right? So this is part one. In part one, I will be explaining how I met my baby daddy and how I found out I was pregnant. In part two, I will be discussing actually like giving birth and then the postpartum from that. And so that's part two. But for now, let's just get into it, okay? All right. Whew. So, um the day we met, I'll start that off. Okay. The day we met, okay? How I met my baby daddy, July 9th. We were at Summerfest. So I was at Summerfest. I was working at a booth and I had a bag with me with some change of clothes, right? So French Montana was set to perform that day, July 9th, 2022. I will never forget because that concert was ass. But I'm gonna get to that, okay? So I get done with my shift. I tell my sister, like, hey, I'm done with my booth at this time. Like, meet me down there. Come see French Montana with me, right? Okay. So my sister and her friend comes, right? And they're like, okay, we want some ice cream. So they go to the ice cream stand and I'm like, all right, well, French Montana about to hit the stage. So I'm gonna just go straight there. They're like, okay, cool. We're gonna meet you. Okay, cool, right? So I go to the stage, I'm watching the concert, and I'm also just like waiting. Like I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, like outside, by the gate. And my sister and friend, they just never showed. Like they literally just never showed. I have no idea where they went, right? So at this point I'm getting a little agitated, okay? And so not only did they not come, but the concert was complete ass. Like it was just ass. Oh my gosh. He just like rapped over a track the whole time and bounced around the stage. His hype man slash DJ was louder than him. I was pissed, okay? So I'm like storming away from the concert mad. I just wanted to hear Pop That Don't Stop. After I heard Pop That Don't Stop, I walked away. Ran into my cousin, hey, what up, yo? He like, yeah, what up? I'm like, bro, this concert ass. He like, bro, tell me about it. So we both agree, right? It was ass. So I'm calling my sister, calling her like, hey, she answers. I'm like, hey, where you at? She like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. We decided to go to a nearby bar because we didn't want to go to the concert. What? So you just leave me? I'm like, bro, I could have left with y'all. I just sat there and watched this ass concert, saving time for y'all to get what y'all needed and come and meet me. And y'all not even on the grounds anymore? Like, come on, seriously? So I was pissed because I'm like, that's dirty, right? So I'm walking off the grounds and I'm like on the phone snapping. Hang up the phone. I'm walking towards the exit. I see two guys from the side of my eye walking together, and one guy tried to like grab me and get my attention, and I looked at him from like my peripheral view, however you say that. And I looked at him and I like kept walking because like I was pissed, right? Plus, like I wasn't dressed for people to be in my face, okay? I was wearing some blue jeans, some raggedy comfortable shoes, and like a Shein crop top and a baseball cap and a messy wig. Like my wig wasn't even combed out. Like get out my face, right? So I'm walking and I hear this DJ session going on. I'm like, oh, that's lit. So I walk down to the DJ session. I'm vibing. I see some people I knew. Oh, what up, y'all? What up? Okay, I'm vibing. Next thing you know, I'm like nodding my head, dancing. Look to the side of me. This guy is literally standing dead ass next to me, and I'm just like, you know, what do you want? And he's just like, well, hey. And I'm like, oh, well, hi. And he's just like, why are you so like, standoffish? You seem like you don't want to be bothered. And I was like, it's because I don't want to be bothered. I'm kind of having a rough day right now. I'm leaving actually, and I know I don't want to be bothered. And he was like, oh, okay, well, how was your day? Tell me about it. And I'm like, I don't think I want to. I don't know you. Like, what do you want? And he's like, well, nothing. Me and my home guy was walking, walking around. I spotted you. I thought you were beautiful. And I was just, I was wondering if I could have your number. And I was like, yeah, speaking of your home guy, it was two of y'all. Where he at? Why you by yourself? And he was like, oh, so you did see us. And I was like, maybe, but anyways, why you by yourself? Answer my question. And he like, oh, because I wanted to make you feel more comfortable. So I thought if I approached you by myself, you would feel more comfortable. And I was like, so you just out here hunting, basically. You out here hunting. And he starts laughing and goes, yeah, I'm out here hunting. And I'm like, okay, where are you from? Like Africa or something? You got like a thick accent. You from Africa? He like, yeah, I'm from Africa. I'm like, okay, did that question offend you? Because I feel like if you're offended, you should probably walk away, because I was intentionally trying to be offensive and that was just inappropriate. But still, I was like, I know like Africa's a continent, and just saying it so broad, like, bro, cuss me out, something. But no, let me stop. So, and so I'm like, yeah, so y'all just out here hunting? And he like, yeah. So can I have your number? And I was like, sure. It was that easy. And then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, I'm dressed like a bust down. Like my outfit was reading bust down. It's not reading like nothing serious. So that means you like bust downs and you ain't looking for nothing serious, right? Okay then. And so I gave him my number. I had no intentions on talking to this guy, by the way. No intentions on interacting with him. I intentionally ignored him. So he sent me a message that night like, hi. I ignored him. He sent me another message the following day. I ignored him. He then sends me another message on the 11th, which was like 2 days after, because like I said, we met on the 9th, right? So he sends me, it wasn't just like any kind of message, okay? It was a video, a very grown, inappropriate video. And I was like, ooh, I haven't seen nothing like that in a long time. How you doing, King? I literally messaged this man like, yeah, bro, my bad. I was tripping about earlier. How you doing? Like, you might be cool after all. So he like, LOL, like, bro, you crazy. And I'm like, I don't care. I just got out of a relationship. I haven't seen nothing like that in a long time, like we need to meet up. Like what's taking us so long to meet up? I think we would have great chemistry, So we talked for a couple more days. Now it's July 14th. Now it's date night, okay? So date night, I don't even think we had anything planned like to go anywhere. He was like, okay, I'll just meet you at your house. Okay, cool. So I was under the impression he was gonna meet me at my house and we were just gonna go somewhere from there, right? So he texts me like, hey, I'm outside. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm already dressed, grab my purse, go outside, get in the car. He's like, what what you doing? And I'm like, I mean, aren't we going somewhere like a date or something? And he like, no, we're going in a house. And I was like, damn, you right. Okay. I feel the vibes. I got some wine. I got some cookies. Let's go in the house, okay? So we go back into my apartment. And pour us some wine. We sit on the couch. The lights are all dimmed. My dog is in a cage after trying to attack him and all that. And he like, as African men, we don't do dogs. So I'm like, all right, cause hey, she ain't going nowhere. She in her cage and that's that, bruh. So we sit on the couch, nice little music playing, soft music. I'm like, okay, Alexa got that. The lights are so dim. We got our wine. It's good wine. We're just like talking. We're being, kind. And he's like, okay, tell me a little about yourself. So I'm telling him a little about myself. And I don't even think I finished my like first sentence. And the guy starts kissing me, right? All right. One thing leads to another. Okay. Y'all put it together what happened. Um and of course like we used protection and we were safe and all of that, but it was just like I've never done anything like that. Okay, I've always been like a relationship type of woman, and so that was like my first time like what I thought was going to be like a one night stand, because I'm like, I never had a one night stand, but I want to have one and see how it is, right? So we didn't get to know much about each other, which was fine. Like I was very brief with telling him about myself, and so he came at 9. We started at 9. He didn't leave my house until 1 a.m. Okay. And so that whole time we're just going at it. Oh my gosh. Literally just going at it. Like I lost my fucking mind. I'm just like, it's the girth. I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. Like I really lost my mind, right? And so then it's the girth for me, child. Size and girth. I ain't gonna even hold you, right? So, yeah, okay. So now, in between our time together from 9 to 1, he would ask me more questions about myself, and I would just be like, I mean, we honestly don't have to talk. Like, we can just get this out the way. You can go. Like, you don't have to know anything about me. We're we're absolutely nothing to each other. So you can stop asking me questions. And he's like, cool, I like you, cool, okay. So he left. And the next day, I hung out with my best friend. I'm like, bro, I met this guy. It was crazy. Like, we had a crazy night. I might not ever hear from him again, but he was cool. Like, I enjoyed myself. And so my friend, like, Z, girl, get your shit together, right? And so then I heard from him later that day, like much later that day. He was like, hey, just want to let you know I made it to my destination. He was going on a trip or something, right? Hey, I made it to my destination. I'm cool. Okay, cool, cool. I thought that was the end of it, right? He messaged me back like 2 days later, like, hey, I'm back in town. Do you want to meet up again? And I'm just like, sure. Okay, we can meet up again. That's fine with me. And so we had our little second date, and it was fun. It was cool, right? And so it wasn't really a date. It was the same thing we did the first time. Second time, same thing. He comes at a certain time, he leaves at a certain time. We were sitting on the floor, just like talking, and because we were like in between, like we were taking a break, and he was just like, "Yeah, so like, why don't you have any kids?" And I'm like, "Because I don't." And he's like, "Well, do you want kids?" And I'm like, "No, I never even thought about it." And he's like, "Why not?" And I'm like, I don't know. I guess since I didn't think about it, I never thought about it. I guess I don't want kids. I never had a relationship where we even spoke on kids. I never planned for kids. So I think that tells me enough already that I just don't want kids, okay? And so he was like, "Well, you're going to be lonely. You're going to have a sad, miserable life. You don't want kids." And I'm like, "Okay, well, that's fine. I'm lonely right now and I'm having a blast. Aren't you?" And so that was the first time, literally our second date was the first time people were kids to me. I did not see it as a red flag, okay? So now my birthday's coming up. My birthday is like a couple weeks after when we met, right? So my birthday's coming up, and I have plans to spend my birthday with a very special friend, okay? And this very special friend was in my life for a very long time. And I just knew, like, we were gonna, because our birthdays are like literally mine's was one day, his was the next day or 2 days later. And I was just like, yeah, like, and he was like, hey, you want to spend my birthday with me this year? And I'm like, after all these years, I never got to spend your birthday with you. Now it's my turn. Yay. And so, y'all, when I tell y'all, I was so reckless. Like, I'm healed now, but at that time, I was just like young, wild, and free. Okay. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's hang out for like let's hang out for our birthday together. So so I'm at my shift on Summerfest, right? At my shift at my booth, and my now baby daddy is messaging me like, hey, when I get back in town, we should hang out. What are you doing for your birthday? I'm like, I'm not doing nothing much, like we good. Well, I want to spend time with you on your birthday. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. And he like, come on, it'll be fun. Okay, cool. He like, I can bring some friends. You can have your girls. Okay, right? So he invited his friends. I invited my girls. We go out. We have a time. This we ran into like a group of women, and I was being so nice with them. Like, we were walking and laughing, and she thought because she was like a non-black woman. Let me start there, okay? And she like, I like the black man. Which black man, which one out your group can I have tonight? And I was like, you can have him. I said, hey, you can have everyone but that one, right? Pointing at my baby daddy. You can have everyone but that one, because that one is coming home with me tonight. That's mine right there. She like, why that one? Y'all together or something? I'm like, no, you can have him afterwards, but tonight's my birthday. So I get first-hand dips. Mind you, I wasn't saying she couldn't ever talk to the boy. I'm just saying, you can't take him home tonight. Like, he's mine tonight. Y'all, I'm off the Casamigos. When I tell you, I had no filter. I'm like, you want to see what he working with? You want to see why he coming home with me? Oh, pull out my phone. I show her the video he sent me that made me fold. And she was like, damn. Y'all, I promise y'all, right? I'm not in my right state of mind because I'm drunk off my ass. I turn around. I see her like, oh, can you take a picture of me and my friends? Like, she got him in a corner and like doing sexy poses and shit, she trying to take my guy. And I'm like, bro, I was nice to you. I welcomed you into our little, our little area. It wasn't a section. I wasn't paying for no damn section. But I'm like, I welcomed you into our area, and this what you do? Like, that's crazy. Y'all, I live it, right? So I had one of my male friends there, and we never even talked on that level. I would never go there with him because I know his baby mama, right? And so I was like, so we talking at the bar, and I'm like, bro, I need you to talk to me to calm me down because I just know my eyes ain't deceiving me right now. So me and him talking, and he venting to me about some stuff going on in his life. I turn around. Hey, I turn around. My baby daddy standing right there like this. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, what? And he like, hey, ain't you a little too close to do? And I'm like, well, it's loud. We're in a bar. We're having a casual conversation. Yeah, I'm close to hear what the fuck he's saying. That ain't my guy. I would never, do that with him. And he was like, oh, well, y'all seem a little too comfortable. And I said, we comfortable? You just over here with her old girl and her friends having the time of your fucking life. And he was like, yeah, bro. He said, for some reason, I think she like me. She keep coming on to me real strong. He's like, but I'm here with you. I wouldn't do no shit like that. I'm like, oh, okay. You a real one for that. Let's lock in, baby. Let's lock in. Let's show him who it is. We go in the corner. Go in the corner, making out, y'all. I never been so sloppy and drunk in my damn life. Like, oh my gosh, like I was off my shits. Whenever I was drinking Casamigos and with this motherfucker, I was just like, I don't even know who I was. Like, I was just like a different person. I've never behaved like that in public. Mind you, I've always been into relationships, right? Always was in relationships, and so like, I never had to do the most with my boyfriend. Something about this man, like something about me being single and him being single, but us still liking each other, felt so freeing to me, and I just don't know why. It was just like, it gave me like a rush, Sorry, the little firefighters. No, the ambulance, they coming by. Okay then, so back to the story, right? Okay, so the night of my birthday, they was like, Z, you good? We never seen you like this. Like, my friends and my family, like, you good? I'm like, yeah, why y'all ask that? They're like, you just seem a bit off. Like, y'all going home together? I'm like, yeah, like, how I seem off? And they looked at me and said, bro, just don't get pregnant. I swear, to this day, right? This was in 2022. Now it's 2025. To this day, my family swear I got pregnant on my birthday. And I keep telling them, like, no, like, I don't think I got pregnant on my birthday. It did not happen on my birthday, okay? So they believe that because of the way me and this man was acting, how we were all over each other, that I got pregnant on my birthday. It didn't happen, okay? Like, it happened, but not the pregnancy, because I know on my birthday we had safe, like, we had protected, right? And so, go home with him that night, light a candle, playing some music, setting a vibe. Yeah, we passed out. We were so damn drunk, we passed out. So I woke up like at, probably 4 a.m. Y'all, the candle is burning. In the house, burning. I could have burnt my house down. Like, when I tell you, that was definitely the last time I ever got drunk like that, because it was such an eye-opener, and it was so scary. And I'm just like, man, the lights were on, the music was still blasting, the candle burning. I'm like, I wake him up like, dude, why you go to sleep without the candle? Like, without putting the candle out? And he like, oh, I was asleep? Like literally, like, y'all, we were out on our ass, okay? And so, so we hang out that day, and he leave. Now at this point, we're still cool, but now problems are starting to come about. And so one of our first arguments was not even like a week later, probably like a couple days later, okay? He was like, hey, I want to come and see you. And I was like, oh, tonight is not going to work. I already have like plans, I've already planned some things out, so not tonight. And he was like, every other time I exit see you, you're available. Why you're not available this time? And I didn't want to tell him that he wasn't my only one, because he wasn't my boyfriend. I didn't have to tell him. I never asked about his business, so I felt he didn't have to know mine, right? And so I'm like, oh, just don't worry about it, but just know I have plans. And he like, you trying to see somebody else, are you? Ooh, boy, when I tell y'all I was hot, I'm like, okay, yeah, like, yeah. Y'all, this man cussed me out. And I'm just like, why are you mad? Like, y'all, when I tell y'all, I was my whole shift. Have you ever been at work, like, arguing with somebody over text? Like, arguing with your significant other over text? And you mad as hell for one, because they pissing you off while you at work. You mad for two, because you at work. And you mad for three, because you can't cuss them out because you're at work, right? So I'm at work. I'm continuously walking away from my booth, sending all these messages. And so we arguing. He like, you know what? Fine, do whatever. I don't care. I actually liked you. And this is how you turn out to be. And I'm like, what? Man, you knew who the fuck you was talking to. I ain't trying to hear none of that. You knew I wasn't an angel, like I knew you wasn't an angel. Y'all, the way me and this man bonded is when I told him, yeah, I've done some cheating in the past. And he was like, you did too? I did too. I'm like, really? I said, but I wanted to change my ways. That's why I'm single. I literally broke up with my boyfriend because I just wanted to focus on me and grow and like be a career focused woman, be a better woman. Like in general, I just don't want that life for me anymore. He like, yeah, I get it. I understand. Like I feel the same way too. So, you know, that's how we bonded. But like, you know, back to the story. So basically, I'm just like, you know, man, I don't even know you. Like, I don't know you. You know, like, I don't even know your last name. And that literally ended the argument. That ended the argument because he was like, oh, damn, you're right. Like, I'm like, yo, we've been talking for like a little bit over 2 weeks. And like, we're arguing about me talking to other people. Like, this is crazy. You're not even my boyfriend, okay? So then he's still pissed. Like, that the argument right then and there. But later that night, he texts me again. So what you doing? I'm back in town. I'm like, what you mean what I'm doing? I told you I have plans. No, you don't. I'm outside. Y'all, this man pulled up to my apartment. And I was pissed because I'm dressed for a date, okay? I ain't gonna even lie to you. I wanted to see my man. Like, well, he wasn't my man, but still, I wanted to see my friend. And he just like, yeah, hey, what you have planned? You all dressed up nice and stuff. And I'm like, you need to go. I got some company on the way. He like, I ain't going nowhere. Y'all, I folded. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. I was not the perfect victim. I folded so damn fast. I text my friend like, bro, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to come another time. He's like, are you fucking serious? I've been traveling all this way to come and see you. You've been acting real weird lately. You've been avoiding me, yada yada yada. And I'm like, man, I know. Like, sorry, I'm just so busy right now. Things keep coming up. Like, we'll catch up another time. I promise. Okay. So I end up spending that night with my baby daddy because like he was on some cock blocking stuff and I was just too weak to be like, okay, go, right? He there, you might as well just stay. Let's have a good time, right? So had a good time that night, and mind y'all, we would go through like, oh my gosh, in one night we would go through like 4 to 5 packs of condoms, like condoms, like, right? Because we would go take a break, go take a break, and it went for fucking hours. It was crazy. Like, how you have so much fucking stamina? I didn't even know I had it in me. Do you hear me? I didn't know I had it in me. I learned something about myself at that time, okay? Because I'm used to the 2 minutes and that's it. Okay, so yeah, so at this point, yeah, okay, so at this point we getting a little serious. He tells me, like, we're 3 weeks in, and he tells me, like, I got something to tell you. I'm like, okay, what? He's like, yeah, come to my house. I'm like, yes, I get to go to your house, because he comes to my house every time. So I'm like, yeah, I get to come to your house. That's what's up. I go to his house, and he's like, I want to show you something. He showed me some pictures, and I'm like, who, you and this woman, nigga, you got a girlfriend? And he like, yeah, I got a girlfriend. Remember? So I'm gonna tell y'all. When the time we were bonding and I was telling him about my past, I told him about my ex and how I didn't like my ex and that's why I left him. You know, I just wasn't happy with him. And he would tell me about his ex and how he wasn't happy with her either. Like, man, we got so much in common. I had the same situation. I had an ex too. I wasn't into her. Like, all this stuff. Come to find out, I was like, wait. That ex you told me about, she wasn't really your ex, was she? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, that's fucked up, because before we even did anything on the first date, I asked you. I was very clear. Hey, do you have a girlfriend? What's your status? Like, I need to know, because I don't do that. And he's just like, yeah, I know, but I didn't believe you either. And I'm like, well, of course you wouldn't have gonna believe me. You're a fucking liar. Why would you believe me? You had a whole situation. So I'm in his apartment going off like I'm hot. And he like, damn, you like me for real. And I was like, what the? We just been down there every day together for the past 3 weeks. What the fuck you mean? Of course I liked you. I put aside my favorite guy, my pride and joy for you. What the fuck you think? You know? And he's just like, oh yeah, you know, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, bro. And so I was hurt. I sat on the couch. I was hurt. I was confused. I felt lied to. I felt tricked. Because I'm like, you wait until I fall for you before you break this news to me. Like, and you know I'm falling for you. Everyone can see that I'm clearly falling for you. My best friend tell me every day, Z, you stupid as fuck for falling for him because, like, it's just too fast. Like, nothing's adding up. It's just you falling for him way too fast. And I'm like, but he calls me every day. He texts me every day. He comes and pop up and see me. Like it was just a love bombing for me that I was just loving it, child. And so, and it was, but also it was the girth. I cannot stress it enough. The size, the girth. Like, I lost my mind, okay? Like, at this point, it's like, okay, you lied to me, but I forgive you. You can do no wrong in my eyes. That's why I say, if a guy, like, in my video where I talk about, like, 5 reasons to leave him, I'm telling y'all, if he's good in bed, leave him. Don't even, leave him before it gets too good, before it gets too late, because then he got you wrapped around his finger because he know you're addicted, and now, you know, now you a part of the problem, okay? So, let me just fast forward to the night I got pregnant, okay? We met July 9th. I think I was pregnant by August 9th. Like, I don't even think we were with each other for a month. Like, we even knew each other for a month. Like, so, one night, we're together. Like I said, we always, would run out of condoms, right? This night, we ran out of condoms. And I was like, all right, like, we gotta stop. Ain't no more condoms, like, and then, you know, ain't nothing else to even talk about. And he was like, no, I'm telling you, like, it's fine, you know, I'll just, you know, I'll pull out, it's fine. And I'm just like, man, but I don't trust you. I'm like, and you shouldn't trust me because we be talking to other people. I know you talk to other people, your cheating ass. I know I talk to other people. So, like, you know, we wear protection to be safe. Like, we can go get tested, all this other stuff, and then we can talk about unprotected. Until then, we need to be safe. So he's like, no, I'm telling you, like, I'm good, I promise. And then he's like, are you clean? I'm like, yeah, I get tested all the time, but are you? And so we're literally going back and forth, right, during intimacy. And so he's like, just trust me, okay? So I trust him, right? And yeah, when I tell y'all, like, that was the first and only time we did unprotected. And then I went a week later. I don't even think it was a week later. Or no, I think it was a week later. So I looked at my receipts. It looks like August 13th. August 13th is when I went, and I had just got tested, you know, for everything, just to be sure, because like I said, he was very promiscuous, and I had one guy on the side, and so just better safe than sorry, right? And so everything came back good, clean, like no pregnancy, no STD, great, right? And so yeah, so then I went to Minnesota with my ex, right? So this was like early August is when I'm assuming I got pregnant. And then mid-August, like around August 26th was the date. August 26th, I went to Minnesota with my ex, and we didn't do anything. Like, we were just like, we already had this trip planned out before I broke up with him, and he was like, look, I kind of already like made the arrangements for our trip and paid. Can you just come with me? Like, I don't want to go by myself. Like, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's a trip to Minnesota. You know I'm gonna ride with you. So I went with him to Minnesota, and we were kicking it one night. The first night there, we go out drinking. And I remember like drinking this. We went to like a beer garden or something, and I was drinking, and I got like the worst heartburn. And I was like, oh wow, this don't feel too good. You know, I got heartburn and all this other stuff. And he looks at me and he's like, Z, are you pregnant? And I'm like, no, why would you say that? And he's like, I don't know, something about you is just giving pregnancy. He was literally the one to call it out. And when I tell y'all, I was so annoyed with him. I was irritated. I was annoyed. I'm like, boy, you was the last person I was with. I told you I ain't, talking to other people. I'm really focusing on myself. Because when I broke up with him, I told him I just need time to focus on myself. So I'm like, I'm focusing on myself. Ain't nobody out here doing all that. Just lying. Right? And I'm just like mad because I'm just like, no, I'm not pregnant. Like, I always get heartburn from beer specifically, which is why I don't fucking drink beer. I drink wine or Casamigos. And so, he like, okay, Z. So then, yeah, we, hung out in Minnesota. Like I said, we didn't do anything. Like, literally just a innocent friends trip. And so, go back home, and, things are going great. Me and, my baby daddy, we're not talking much at this point. Because one, he already saw me on a trip with another guy. He probably assumed I was talking to him, entertaining him. I don't know. I don't care. Right? And then for two, we kept getting into it. Like, at this time, we're just bumping heads like damn near every day. Because I'm like, why you don't have time for me? Why you being weird? Why you keep disappearing? And he like, I don't have time for you. Like, girl, you on trip with other dudes. Like, shut up. Like, so when I tell y'all we just we're butting heads like crazy, okay? And so, my best friend lived across the street from me. My best friend at the time, right? And so one day I was just like, I was super drained. It was like a couple weeks later, right? This was like literally 2 weeks later. I am drained. It's like September, it's dark and rainy. I hate when the weather change. So I go to his house, sleep in his like guest room, and I'm just like exhausted. I just slept like for hours there, and I'm like, yeah, man, all right, I'm finna go home, right? Like, thanks for letting me crash here. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just not feeling too good. Go back home, and then I like went to sleep. I was just super tired. Woke up the next day with like crust in my eyes, and I'm just like, why am I having all these like symptoms? Why am I like, so something wasn't right. I hung out with my baby daddy like probably one other time, and he was like, Z, you're being weird. And I'm like, man, I just haven't been feeling good lately. I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong. Because mind y'all, I got tested a week after everything happened. All my results came back great, right? And so I was also like, my menstrual was like very irregular at the time, and it came when it was supposed to come irregularly, but it came. So I'm just like, yeah, I got my menstrual, like I got tested, I'm good, right? So the day I wake up, and my eyes were just so heavy, and I was just so exhausted, and I was like, Lord, please don't tell me it is what I think it is. Please don't tell me. So I don't have a car at the time, right? I hop on the bus, go to CVS. I'm the first customer there. I'm waiting outside for them to unlock the door, like 8 a.m. stat, like, and my heart is like pounding out of my chest because I'm like, what's going on with me? Something's not right. Like, something is just not right, and shit, I might be pregnant, So I go grab some Clear Blue, and the Clear Blue, the pregnancy test, pay for it. I'm at the counter ashamed, by the way, okay? Like, I'm at the counter ashamed because I'm just like, I might be pregnant. Mind y'all, the day I got pregnant, me and this man, we hung out that whole entire weekend. Like, we stayed together that whole weekend, right? Like, we just kicking it every single day, just kicking it, right? And so I didn't think none of it. Like I said, I got tested after that. Anyway, so, I I'm embarrassed, I'm paying for the pregnancy test, and go back home, and like the first test I took, I didn't even take it right. So of course it read like whatever it means when the test is unreadable, right? So it wasn't positive and it wasn't negative. It was like inconclusive or something like that. So I'm like, okay, I can work with inconclusive. Okay, let me just do one more. Do the second one, I do it the right way. It says pregnant. I'm like, okay, let me just take another one. I got like a 4-pack, right? Take another one. It says pregnant. Take the test, pack myself up, pack up my tears, walk across the street to my best friend's house. He playing the game. I got a key to his house. I unlock the door. He playing the game. I go up to him, show him the test. He's just like, playing the game. Stops, he look at it. Playing the game some more. Stops, he looks. He like, Z, really? Really? You such a dumbass. Oh my gosh. My friend was so mad at me. He was like, why? I told you. I warned you about this guy. The minute you told me he kept bringing up kids, I told you what would happen. Just why? And I'm like, bro, like, I'm telling you, like, I thought I was in the clear. And he like, well, did you take any birth control, Plan B? And I'm like, well, I haven't been on birth control since, like, the birth control messed me up a few years back. I said, in Plan B? No, I didn't even think about taking a Plan B. And he's just like, you're so stupid, Z. How are you going to get an abortion? So at this time, the abortion ban was happening. And so in Wisconsin, like, I didn't have access, right? And so I would have to leave the state to get an abortion. And so I found out like around September 4th, because although I don't have like the picture of the pregnancy test in my phone, I have screenshots of Planned Parenthood abortion clinics and other abortion clinics that I could go to in my phone at that time. So that was my train of thought, was like, okay, what's the nearest abortion clinic? How much will it cost? How am I going to get there, right? And so, of course, I didn't know how to feel. Like, a part of me was happy, a part of me was sad. I really was just insecure about the whole ideal of being a mother, because I just didn't feel like I had it in me. I never felt like I had that nurturing aspect in me. And like I said, I never thought about pregnancy before. I never thought about having a family before. I never thought about marriage before. It was just something that, in my opinion, at the time, it wasn't important to me in my life, right? So I was like, I confided in my sister. And she's like, well, you gotta tell mom. If you don't tell her, I'm gonna tell her, right? Call my mom, y'all. I FaceTimed my mom. FaceTimed her the pregnancy test. And she was like, Pooh, why are you FaceTiming me not saying anything? And then she looks and she's like, I know you fucking lying. I know. My mom was so mad, because she was like, I wanted grandkids, but not by you. Not by you. Because I just know you are not ready. You're not ready. Do you even know who the father is? And I'm like, damn, y'all, what y'all think of me? Y'all think I'm just that reckless? Like, yeah, I know who I got pregnant by, the crazy African guy I told you about. And she was like, oh my gosh. So my mom was like pissed. She was pissed at me, right? And because she wanted grandkids, but like from my brother and sister, not for me. Because everyone knew I just wasn't responsible. Like, I, just started my career, got my own like place to stay, had my own car before I got into an accident. Like, I was at a different part of my life where I was in like this party girl, very selfish stage, right? So ain't nobody think about no damn kids for me. Told my baby daddy. He was like, okay, yeah, girl. Yeah, I'm happy. I can't believe I'm gonna be a father. 2 hours later, yeah, you have to get rid of that. You gotta get rid of it. And so I'm like, we on the same accord. And so right afterwards, I had a little complications, and then I was like, oh dang, like when I literally had my first complications like 2 days after finding out I was pregnant. And I was like, dang, like, so I had to continuously go to the doctor and get tests before they like ruled out what it could have been. And it was like a scary process that I'll talk about, in the second part. But still, it was just like, man, like, oh man, what if I actually wanted this kid? I could have probably been a good mother, right? So it turned out that they thought I was like miscarrying or something. Turned out I wasn't miscarrying, and that like, the baby was still there. And I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna keep it. It was up from there. Boom, baby mama club, single mother club, right then and there. But so yeah, I'm currently engaged, but not to my child's father, of course. And then I'll do a part 2 later about it. And like I said, in part 2, I'll talk about like pregnancy, having the baby, and then postpartum. It's not as exciting as this story, but please stay posted and like and subscribe for when I follow that. You will get that notification. Thank you. Bye.